Hey everybody, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Justice. And Page of Swords. And Ace of Swords. So we can see Page of Swords as being on a bit of a mission to discover something, to find something out, to learn something, to understand something. Having the Ace of Swords be there, it feels like that has been reached, like a conclusion has been reached, or an understanding has been reached, or something has been found out, something has been discovered. Having Justice be here, I feel like this is connected with the theme of what this is. Definitely going to be carrying some truth with you if you are the Page of Swords. It feels even like getting to the bottom of something. Okay. 5 of Cups, 10 of Wands, 3 of Wands. Okay. Something that I am noticing with 5 of Cups and 10 of Wands and 3 of Wands, this kind of looks like it's looking over to where the Ace of Swords is. So even though Ace of Swords can be more of the presently what's happening, the way that this 5 of Cups is looking at it, so this is going to be something that's being seen clearly, something that's being understood. But then when the 5 of Cups is over there looking at it, this can be something that you feel like, okay, I'm clear on that, but it can be different than what you anticipated, or it could be a different direction than where you thought things were going. There's something about, even though you can feel like, okay, I have the truth now, or things are clear now, there can be, and this may not be for everybody involved, but it may be for some involved in this. The 5 of Cups can be like the truth is here, the truth is out, but for some involved in this, because again, it doesn't have to be everybody, there can be some type of, that wasn't what I expected, or I feel upset about this, or I feel disappointed, or that wasn't how I wanted things to go. And so there's that feeling looking at it. So even though it's like the truth is here and that can't really be, it's like completely unmasked. When we have that Ace of Swords at the same time, there can be something that's difficult about digesting that, only because one sort of wanted it to be other than that was. And then there can be just a lot of heaviness, because I'm seeing 5 of Cups as lending itself to feeling a heaviness about the direction of things, especially like if I'm finding this out now and these are my feelings about it, like I didn't want it to be like that, but you also can't deny it at the same time, because this is this is how it is. And then feeling that weight, but especially as it relates to what's going to be happening later down the timeline. This feels like justice coming to light in a big way. I don't know why I get the feeling almost of 5 of Cups not being the same person, or like the same body of people here. Having that Ace of Swords and having the Sun, both of these cards are connected with truth. Both of these cards are connected with illumination. And then also having justice there too. There would be a sense of right order to things, a sense of balance to things. It does look like something was looked into and something has been discovered, something has been found out, and then I'm seeing it's going to be brought to light. This looks like a discussion that's going to be happening. It looks like an announcement, and it looks to like whatever this is, like it can't be negotiated further. It feels like stuff was happening before that was maybe being investigated. And then when the Ace of Swords and the Sun is there, this looks like something that is like the truth, and so it can't really be argued against because there is really no other perspective when we have the Ace of Swords and we have the Sun there, because it feels like it's not relative. Like this is just what it is, and everybody that can see whatever that is sort of in agreement about that. And this being something that's going to be happening now on the track of this, I do feel like something had to be found out, something had to be investigated before an announcement could be made about what this is. I don't really get the feeling like this has, like the implications of this are so harrowing. I get more of a sense of maybe there being some type of disappointment that's being projected onto the future, as if something is going to be going in a direction that's like not a great one, but I'm not actually getting that feel like things are going that way. It feels like a moment when something comes to light and the expectation could have been, or like the desire even could have been, for it to be different or other than that. But then seeing something as it is, not being able to sort of, there's nowhere else to go, because the Ace of Swords is that like we have reduced it to the absolute truth that we could find within that. But sometimes when it's not like as we expected it to be, there can then be a projection that like something is wrong, that things are going in a direction that they're not supposed to, something of that nature. It feels like that kind of being a lens that things are being looked at, but I'm not necessarily seeing that actually be the reality of how things are going to be playing out. I wonder too if this is going to be aligning with a deeper truth of what's playing out, and taking on an understanding that this also supports your best interest and your well-being, even if it's different than what you felt you wanted or what you felt was supposed to happen. Because in the pre-shuffle, what I was seeing was, I was seeing Hermit and I was seeing the Devil, and Hermit is about having the purity of insight and introspection and getting to the bottom of things and problem solving and seeing the truth and understanding the depths of things and self-discovery and whatnot. And then the Devil can be anything that would be blocking you from seeing that, or blocking you from going there, or containing you in some way where you're not moving in the direction of the truth. And so having Justice and Page of Swords and Ace of Swords feels like getting to the bottom of something and really seeing the truth in a way where I feel this again, like it can't be disputed what this is, because this is like we've gotten to the bottom of it. And I'm seeing that this is going to lead to a bit of a new endeavor that's going to be taking place, where it feels like everything is sort of out in the air, out in the open, that needed to be there. Simultaneously, this feels like not being in total alignment maybe with the energy and what's taking place from a perspective that it's supposed to be other than it actually is. And I do feel like having Five of Cups and having the Hanged Man is this notion of when you can sit sort of further back and see beyond the more if you're looking at this from a place of you being in flow with the energy and of recognizing that the energy is going to align with what's in your best interest to be playing out, I think it gives a bit of a different perspective. So going from Five of Cups, which is like almost this denial of what the truth is because of thinking that we want something else or having this expectation based off of a distortion that something else was going to happen. This feels like some elevated perspective that's being gained, like something more nuanced and something ultimately more honest and more clear-minded. Because with Neptune, with the Hanged Man, there can be a wiping away of whatever doesn't allow you to see things as they truly, truly are. And coming to a place where you recognize that the truth is ultimately the only thing that makes sense given the laws and how things play out. And although it can feel like a heavy thing to, I think, move through with the weight of when you want something to be one way, or you think that you do in that moment, okay, and you're going through that process of coming to terms, it can feel like a lot to try to manage. That Ten of Wands and that King of Cups feels like the weight of everything that one's feeling, and there being a lot of, I think, like energetic, emotional, spiritual muscle that is needed. If King of Cups is about being able to still the water, Ten of Wands feels like stuff that keeps getting dropped in, that things are like splashing all over the place and it's moving around and it can feel kind of stormy connected with what you're feeling. And then trying to find equilibrium within that, trying to center and still and ultimately get to that position, which is also going to give you, I think, like a different perspective and also more clear insight about what's to come as well and what's going to be unfolding as well. And that being a really big part of this. Because it feels like seeing the truth as being a gift that you've been given, even though you could have been feeling like for some reason something else would have been right, recognizing that I think this would just be the more correct thing to be playing out, like really in the best interest of everybody involved in this situation. And thinking back to the Hermit and the Devil is going to be the stuff that blocks you, the stuff that doesn't allow you to see how things really are and understand that that's the way that it's meant to be. It's like the Devil will be things that block you from that divine cosmic insight and understanding and perspective that you have naturally within you. It just like gets in the way of you seeing that, even though it's already within you. It's just about sort of peeling back the layers so you can see that part of you that is connected with the Hermit. This feels like you're working with something that had been blocking you a bit, and that this is a time when those layers are being peeled back. And so there's a revelation that's within this as well. And also too, having Page of Pentacles moving in the direction of the Three of Wands, I feel like this is also meant to sort of connect some things and having you be on the correct, I think, trajectory for your soul's mission, because we have the Sun here too. Being on that path, making sure that you're where you're supposed to be. And so the devil, that Five of Cups energy, can be the stuff that sort of takes you off of the path. And this is a correction, essentially, that's happening, where it feels like it can't really be denied what this is. It's like you were sort of wandering off a bit, and this is you being picked up and put back on track here, even though you could have been like, I was moving over there and that's where I wanted to go. I feel like this is like that wasn't in your best interest to be happening, and so that's why you're being moved over here. And in the best interest of like what your soul is meaning to experience and like your path and whatnot. So it feels like along the lines of that, that's what's happening here. But it can be hard to see in a way that feels reasonable when we feel upset about something, when we are working through something emotionally, when we're having a hard time coming to terms with something. And so I think that there's a strain there because of what's going on emotionally that can make it more difficult to be seeing in a way that feels level-headed. Because we start with Justice and then we end with Queen of Swords, and these are both Libran energies. And so having this here, it's going to be connected with being able to see things because there's balance, because there's more of a sense of neutrality even that I don't think was there before. And that's why there was a bit of an offset. And even though there's stuff that's being transmuted to sort of bring you back into the middle here, again, feels kind of like a correction that's happening. And I think that it has to do with like a correction when it comes to perspective and understanding. Because you could have been thinking a certain way, and this is giving you a more like elevated, I think like open-minded, more zoomed out understanding of things, and it brings back more of a sense of balance that may have been lacking before. Like something could have been leaning too far, and this brings things back into the middle. And it does allow the narrative to shift at that point. Overall, the theme that I'm seeing, again, is connected with going through something where you can feel very impacted by emotionally, psychologically, and being in a place where there is the utilization of like both of those perspectives rather than it being skewed and pushed over to the point where it's like if something really big is going on emotionally, if there's not grounding, if there isn't an anchor there, like all reason and all logic can go out the window. And then there's very much a mudslide energetically that happens. This feels like keeping a balance between the heart and the mind rather than disregarding one or the other. And this is more about that sense of balance. And it feels too like as it also relates to the future as well, and that being part of things. And I think too also dealing with how when we have expectations of things, the ways that weighs on us when those expectations are not met, and then how that colors our understanding of where we are and also where we're going too. And that being a big piece of this. The importance of communication, of investigating, of values as well. Especially it feels like interpersonal, like social values being connected with this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.